prior black support at all. Um, and it's weird because like I understand that a lot of these gaming companies they weren't political at first. Um, this is the first time for them. Andre, another YouTuber who like he is the epitome of what I'm talking about as far as being a black man in a culture that's kind of weird with how they accept you. Because he loves the game culture. He loves the Pokemons, the Power Rangers, all that stuff. That's and honestly Asian, Japan, Orient, or that's where they started. And there has they have a history of being kind of weird with how where they put us and how they treat us. And even how it's introduced to Black Nerd Gaming was kind of like channels were using Andre back in the day to like kind of like, hey, we got we have support from black gamers and such, but then I never saw him on their channels ever again. I've been saying this entire time, black support was not present in gaming, especially not from Nintendo. I mean, we had Reggie, but I don't, and I even like that's the game that I've noticed that Nintendo plays. Unfortunately, when I'm like looking at the Treehouse and a lot of their advertisements, they mostly all like they kind of follow. Everyone knows Nintendo for being very formulaic. It's what leads to their success, but it also is what is attributed to their flaws. And when I'm looking at the average, I'm looking at even for Treehouse. They always kind of seem to do the formula of white consumer, Asian consumer, and that's it. That's all. Like most their advertisements, most their Instagram posts, white consumer, Asian consumer, that's it. And it's like the black consumer exists. I read an article that shows that of the, we're only unfortunately 12, 13% of this country, but of in the black or in the community of gaming and purchasing, we take about 25% of fandom. So it's like we should have more representation as we consume almost a quarter as much as everyone else. I mean, honestly, if we consume a quarter, that means the other quarter is probably the white gamers, the Asian gamers, and the Hispanic gamers. Um, so and I guess you see the like I said the advertisement and representation with all of them, not so much us. And it's like I hope that this message they're sending is definitely a call going forward. I hope for I see, it's they released it on the day that everyone else did it. The thing I gotta point out though that like really made me I guess disappointed is when Nintendo and Sony both had these scheduled announcements on the same exact day that before this incident happened. Sony's was going to be for their console launch for the PlayStation 5, which is a very big deal. And Nintendo's was going to be for the information on the Pokemon expansion, which they had already kind of given us hints about, but whatever. Um, and when the George Floyd situation happened, and everyone, the companies all responded by like that Tuesday, the Blackout Tuesday. Every company in the corporate America sent out something, and the ones that didn't, Steam, who is losing developers, taking off, because they didn't say anything, and they're now losing developers as we speak. Developers in gaming are being stripped off their platform because they said nothing. Everyone decided to say something or donate or blah blah blah. But some companies like Sony, in my opinion, took it a step further because not only did they release a statement, they actually canceled their event. They canceled their launch PlayStation event. I mean, and I thought they were going to postpone it to a day, but they ended up moving it to the entire next week. I thought that maybe that was like a way to probably save face and not put like something that while all this negative energy and information and healing is necessary, and they're putting out PS5s and saying give us more money. Um, it would just been tasteless, I suppose, to do it. So maybe they were just being smart in that aspect, and they canceled it. But at the same time, they also release statements, and then they end up donating like I want to say 7 figures to the causes and supports, which is wonderful. That's how I feel like that's how you should have done it. And when you look at that example, and then you look at Nintendo, who just released this one statement, like they have multiple social medias. I only saw the statement on this Instagram. And it's weird because even this Instagram, their Nintendo American Instagram, this is the one that has like lack of black support all over it. They have another one, which is their Nintendo of New York account, which is really weird because that account is nothing like it has nothing but like black Smash players on it. Um, and I don't know what I guess message they're trying to portray, but they actually didn't put this message on that account. Strangely enough, they didn't put it like on all of them. They just put it on the Nintendo America account, and I think that says something. I think the fact that the donation um, from the Pokemon company, because essentially Sony canceled their event, but Pokemon company still did theirs. They still, despite all the controversies that are around, and like I love the series. I have all the games. um, but I understand the controversies that go behind the series, and to know what you're that and to still continue with your event when, like I said, Sony canceled a launch event, not a just a game event, but a launch event. It's kind of like what I was saying. It looks kind of distasteful. It's just I I was expecting Nintendo to also cancel theirs, but no, they continued forward. They, Pokemon Company, because it was them who proceeded with the merch. I feel like they may have gotten some backlash because then they did eventually release a statement and talk about the donation they gave to the NAACP and Black Lives Matter, which is nice, but the amount is concerning because it's only $100,000 when they're essentially a $1 billion industry. Um, a $1 billion industry that honestly, like, they just released more news about Pokemon today, like about like Niantic and Pokemon Go. I'm like, the microtransactions from that game alone, they could have gave one day, you know what I mean, of donations from microtransactions from that game to give a worthy, you know, donation. I feel like I bought more than $100,000 worth of games over time. That's ridiculous. Like, I don't think that's enough, and it's just majorly disappointing. Um, it's when I especially like I said when I look at Sony, when I look at other companies that they were like Apple Arcade, they were promoting games that were by black developers that had black characters, um, that were setting up donations and charities that went way over 6 figures. When you're like say $1 trillion industry, I feel like that says volumes, and I just feel like my company that I support needs to do better. If they're going to stand by the statement they put out for the first time ever, they need to encourage more black developers, black hires in Nintendo's company, um, black faces on Nintendo Treehouse. In any Nintendo sponsored events like the Smash event, I think the guy who looks like Tony Gonzalez is not going to work anymore. We need more of the TK Breezes, the EEs, uh, which they've done events before, but we need more like them. Um, we need more black players on the platforms like these. They said Nintendo's just starting to mess with the fighter game community, and but even then, like I said, the players they pick, it's kind of weird. Like I need to see more of the Salems. I need to see more of the Larry Lurs. I need to see more of it's my man who plays Mario. There's a lot of black gamers and they're not given the platform. It's really weird how they kind of pick the players that they do pick, um, like Nairo and Zero, which are great, but they're not black, and we need that representation as well. Um, yeah, and that's essentially it. I just want them to stand by the statement. They can't just donate 6 figures. Um, when like I said, I've probably paid more than that in Nintendo hardware. Um, I I big flex. Um, Yeah, I like I said, I'm a big fan of this company. I just want them to do better. I want the gaming industry in general to do better. I need more, like I said, the guy on that IG or on Inside Gaming, he hit a nail on the hammer. We need more black developers. We need more black characters. Like the fact that there's not many black characters in games is concerning. I like this last series of Pokemon because they threw a bunch of black gym leaders in. The champion, he looks weird, and I don't really like his design. But they have the appearance of black. I wish that they could be a little bit darker because they're on that edge that Nintendo likes to play with. Where I said they'll throw some black person, like I said, like that one commentator in there, but he looks like me, and it's on that border where it's like we need clear distinction. We need more black representation of the games that I love, like Smash. We need more black representation than that. More black characters. Um, if you don't, I don't want to see, I guess, conversions of characters that are already existing. Even though I would love if if Samus was black, if Captain Falcon was actually black, that would have been great. But I understand, like I understand original, I guess, ideas. So I would say to create more black players, more black characters, to encourage those black characters or black players that y'all do hear us, y'all do care about us, and that our money is important because I feel like essentially if enough of us see where keeps going, that 25% is going to be a lot less. Um, and that's just in general, in all industries. But I'm talking to the gaming industry in specific. So that's all I wanted to say. Like I said, I am looking forward to better results going forward. My eyes will be open. Like I said, shout out to all the black gamers and black commentators and black journalists in gaming. I know it's mad tough in this industry. Like I said, when you're not really supported by any direction you go. And then, like I said, then when you get on, we're online most of the time, and you're just ridiculed by just crazy commentary, and online stuff to where you become desensitized, and it's really, I like I say, shout out to the mental health of it. It's it's real. I'm thinking about like Etika. It's it can get to that point. So shout out to you guys for staying strong. And yeah, black gamers, gaming industry, we love you.